Good evening. This is Holly, and welcome back to another edition of The Witching Hour, in which we're going to read from the Witchmaster's Key and play some nice games that aren't spooky at all in celebration of the upcoming autumn season, or the autumn season that we're in right now. But I did want to say something. So I started reading this book last night, and I've been hearing these things. It's starting to get weird. I mean, I just picked this book up, and I know that this book, The Witchmaster, is real. I know. And I shouldn't be doing this, but we're going to continue. And did you hear that? Okay. We were in the middle of the first chapter. All fell silent as two men lifted the lid off the coffin for the mourners to get a last look at the deceased. Frank and Joe pressed forward for a peek. They shuddered. The dead man might have been 100 years old. His wrinkled, wizened face was contorted in a savage scowl. A low groan broke the silence. The mourners swung around and gazed fiercely at Joe Hardy, whose toothache had caused him to make the sound. Joe tried to look nonchalant, and Frank got ready for action in case the men with the sword decided to use it on them. The boys were relieved when the mourners went back to burying the dead man. The 6 pallbearers quickly shoveled earth on top of the coffin, where it landed with a dull, muffled thud. The people drifted back to the road, and the Hardys returned to their car and resumed their trip. I wonder what that get-together meant, Frank speculated. If you ask me, Joe said, they're making a horror movie. A few minutes later they were in Griffinmore, driving down the main street between rows of quaint cottages to the town square. Frank stopped in front of an inn with a signboard showing a soldier in a scarlet coat and a steel helmet. They went in. Welcome to the Marquis of Granby Inn, the desk clerk greeted them. What can I do for you? First, you can let us have a room, Frank said. Righto. Second, Joe added as Frank signed the register, can you tell us about the funeral he passed outside of the town? The clerk stopped smiling. Nervously, he reached for the key to their room and handed it to Frank. Number 16 on the second floor, he said. Do enjoy your stay at the Marquis of Granby? The funeral, Joe prodded him. The Boris Karloff characters. Who were they? The clerk leaned over the desk and said in a low voice, If you want my advice, you'll forget you ever saw the funeral, because the next one could be yours. Thunderstruck by the mysterious warning, the Hardys questioned the clerk further, but he insisted he could tell them nothing more. That guy's holding out on us, Joe said as he and Frank unpacked. I'd say he's afraid of something. Frank nodded. And I'd like to find out what it is. After washing, they went to the town square and tried to start a conversation with some bowlers in the Griffinmore Green. The men became sullen on the mention of the funeral. One bowler drew the boys aside. You're new around here, aren't you? Just over from the USA, Joe said. Then you don't know about old John Pickenbaugh. That was his funeral. So? John Pickenbaugh was a witchmaster. Come off it, Joe scowled. There ain't any witches. You'll know better before you leave East Anglia, the man retorted, returning to his game. The boys inquired in a few Griffinmore shops. Nobody would talk to them about John Pickenbaugh and his funeral. John Pickenbaugh. I have to go check something. Yeah, there's nothing there. This is getting creepy. I better continue, though. Let's try not to worry about this. We're getting brush-offs instead of answers, Frank observed. Finally, they came to a run-down tea room where a caged parakeet, jars of herbs, and a zodiac chart stood in the window. The name Mary Ellerby was painted on the window ledge. They went in. Mary Ellerby was an old woman with a polka dot bandana around her head. She offered to read tea leaves for her customers and tell them their fortune. Frank said they'd have tea and cakes, but no fortune telling. They took a corner table. Know anything about John Pickenbaugh? Joe asked before taking a bite of chocolate chip cake. What about old John? Mary asked suspiciously. Was he really the witch master? Frank put in. Of course he was. And the mourners at his funeral today were witches from the Griffinmore coven. Frank and Joe exchanged startled glances. Frank lowered his cup of tea. How do you know that? Mary Ellerby gave a high-pitched cackle. That's my secret. I'll tell you this, though. You shouldn't be asking about John Pickenbaugh. You should be asking about his successor. Joe looked puzzled. His successor? The old woman grinned like a harpy. Of course the title is handed down from one witch master to another. We've always had a witch master in each Anglia. A black cat leaped into her lap. She stroked its silky fur and whispered something in its ear. The cat yawned, showing long fangs, and peered at the Hardys with green eyes. Suddenly, Mary Ellerby cackled again, and Joe felt a cold shiver run up his back. So, she cried, who do you think is the new witch master of East Anglia? Do you know? Frank asked. Maybe I do, and maybe I don't. Realizing they would learn nothing more from her, the boys got up. Frank dropped a few British coins on the table. As they left the tea room, Mary Ellerby called out, Remember East Anglia's witch country of old England. Strange things happen here. As her strident voice died away, they turned down the street toward the Marquis of Granby's inn. What an odd character, Frank said, but at least she talked to us. It's lucky we went into a tea room. Oh, that's Frank. Not so lucky for me, Joe said. The chocolate cupcake was a mistake. My jaw feels as though it's blowing up like a basketball. We'd better get you to a dentist pronto, his brother suggested. At the inn, Frank found the name of Dr. Vincent Borelli and put through a call. The dentist said it was after hours, but he'd take anybody with a toothache. The Hardys walked across Griffinmore just as night was falling. Raindrops pattered down out of the black sky, and the boys sloshed through mud and puddles in the side street, looking for an office. Finally, they spotted it and made their way to a door that stood ajar. It bore a nameplate reading Dr. Vincent Borelli, dental surgeon. Frank rang the bell. No answer. He rang several times. Silence. Maybe he's treating a patient, Joe. Let's go in. They found themselves in a tiny waiting room. Through a half-open door on the opposite side, they saw the office and the dental chair. I don't see any patient or the doctor, Frank said. We'll have to wait. They sat down, and Frank began to leaf through a magazine on oceanography which footsteps sounded from the direction of the office. After exchanging perplexed glances, the boys tiptoed through the waiting room door and pushed inside through the door. Inside, they saw an opening trapdoor beyond the dental chair. A man emerged with his back toward them. He lowered the door and turned around. The boys gaped. The face was horribly deformed. The eyes bulged. The nose was squashed. A puffy tongue hung limply from a frothing mouth. And that's where we're going to leave off. Now you know. John Pickenbaugh is the Witchmaster. But you shouldn't be concerned about him. You should be concerned about who is the next Witchmaster. But I need to calm my nerves. It's been a trying couple days. We're into the witching hour here, and I'm going to play another nice game that's just called Autumn, and it should be nice and peaceful and relaxing, and we'll do that, and we'll get that set up here. And here we are. This is a game that's just called Autumn. It's another itch.io game, and like the other one, what I'm going to start doing is putting these in the description of the video. So here it is, Autumn. Let's play. Boo! Be careful, Dobu. We don't know what's in these woods. I bet you can't find me. Dobu, no. Quit fooling around. So I'm this character just named Autumn. And my little friend Dobu ran away. And I have to play hide and seek. So this seems nice and peaceful. We're just wandering around Autumn Woods. Stop doing this, Dobu. It's time to go to bed. Never! Huh. I worry for Dobu. I can only go one direction, though. We're playing a hide and seek with Dobu. So I hope you're enjoying these so far. They're not weird. Oh, Dobu, joke's over. Come back with me. What do you think is in that temple? Dobu, what do you think is in that temple? Don't. Even think about it. Ellipses. Dobu. Adam! Dobu, are you okay? The door closed behind me. I'm stuck in here. Wait. There's a sign in here. It says you must return the orbs. I will get you out of there, Dobu. I must get those orbs. Okay, so we have to get the orbs. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, so I had a nice day in my autumn adventure today. This is a little loud, isn't it? I'm gonna see if we can. There. I hope that's a little more reasonable for you. I mean, you can still hear it. It was a little loud. All jokes aside, the Witchmaster book actually is scarier than I thought it was gonna be already. So this is we're in for a treat. We're gonna enjoy that. I'm reading it kind of mostly as a joke. Oh, I can go this way now. I couldn't go. See, there was like invisible walls before. So far, this is nice and peaceful. Here's an old man. Some berries on this bush. We'll talk to the old man in just a minute. Yeah, let's talk to this old man. But I'm getting my Halloween stuff up slowly but surely, and I hope you're enjoying your October. Or I could just not talk to the old man, because apparently... none of the usual buttons to talk to people seem to work, so... I don't know what button you push to talk to people. This doesn't have controls listed.
Be careful out there, you could have gotten hurt. I'll be here to save if you work one of those wolves.
Oh, I didn't know those were wolves. So there's wolves sleeping in the forest. We wanna be careful. Oh yeah, see, they are wolves. Oh wow, there's a lot of wolves here. A large number. Some. Wolves are asleep in autumn, apparently. Now I just have to get back. The orb might wake the wolves. We have to be careful. They're kind of chunky. I like how chunky the wolves are. I wonder if I meant to go that way. This is probably just puzzle solving. You can go whatever way you want. There you go. There you go. We did it. This is going to be nice and peaceful and easy. We just have to take this back to our buddy, get our buddy out of the temple, and then we can go home. This is fun. I am enjoying this. Yeah, autumn has been nice so far. Today I made a nice salsa. We're enjoying the fall weather. Made a nice spicy salsa. I'll be making chilies with the peppers and tomatoes from my garden. And once I get my Halloween decorations up, I will show you. One more orb left. Thank you, Autumn. Stay strong, Dobu. Yeah, so Autumn is the name of the character in this. This is another Game Jam game. A lot of these have been made for Autumn Game Jams and stuff. So we'll find out what happens in this, and then yeah, it's nice and peaceful, nice and easy. I do have some other peaceful autumn games to play. And then we can play some scary games as the spooky season comes on and gets closer. That looks interesting. But this is just... oh, here's a bakery. Howdy, I'm the town's baker. I bet you want one of those world-famous 3-berry pies. No, I'm kind of in a rush right now. If you want me to make a 3-berry pie, you need red berries, blueberries, and green berries. Then I'll gladly make you one. Well, we did find those berries. There's the orb. We're probably going to need this pie, so let's get the berries. I figured those would be important at some point. We just couldn't do anything with them before. So we have to go back and get all the berries. So this is a nice, cozy game. The Fox game wasn't as much to talk about, but yeah, I will be getting my, showing off my decorations. I found the red berries. Do I need to take them to him one at a time? I might need to take them to him one at a time. This could be something. It's okay, though. You found the red berries. Good job. Oh yeah, we have to take them one at a time. Oh boy. Well, the green berries is going to be a trek, so let's do that. Because that was all the way back by the wolves. I don't even know what the 3-berry pie does. It might not even be important. Let's see. Yeah, so last weekend, I still haven't put the video up on my channel, but I did go apple picking and pumpkin picking, and I've done that stuff. Here's the blueberries. I found the blueberries. We'll get those. Those are real. Blueberries are a real thing. Well, red berries and green berries are a real thing too, but they're not. I don't know if they're called that. There might be red berries. I'm not. So I've got my jack-o'-lantern ready for the season. I just have to get it carved, which I won't do till really close. One of these videos might actually focus on that a bit. I'm going to try to intersperse a little bit of like how my Halloween preparations in this. You found me the blueberries. Good job. I'm totally not a Luigi. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit longer video than the one yesterday. But I mean, these once I start actually playing real horror games, these could go anywhere up to an hour or so. You'll just have to, you know, watch what you want to watch and do what you want to do, and if it's your time. But this is what we're doing for the autumn. I hope everybody has a wonderful Halloween. I want to make an apple pie with my apples, but that'll be maybe next week's job or sometime later. Oh, there's the green berries. They're not as far as I thought. I found the green berries. Oh, I'm Autumn. Hi. I'm also getting excited. I've been doing playing Night in the Woods on my Twitch channel, and that's very spooky. We're gonna get into the spooky Halloween parts of it pretty soon, I think. Oh, this is our tent where we live. Apparently, we just live in a tent in the woods. There's a bakery and an old man. But yeah, we should be getting pretty close to the end of this. This music is very peaceful too. I hope. I look like a Jawa. Houdini! Pete, you found me the green berries. Good job. Oh, it's Louie, not Low. Oh, you got me one of them pies. I guess you can have your orb back. Oh, he had the orb I couldn't get without the pie. Okay. I see. I would have had to get the pie anyway. I mean, I knew that, but I should have talked to the guy before I did that. Oh well. We got the orb. I guess we get our little friend out of the temple, and that's probably the end of the game. This is nice and simple, and very relaxing. I like games like this that aren't too complicated. I want to play a few things that are not spooky, because it's nice autumn. It's the beginning of October. The leaves are starting to turn colors. I'm noting that every morning now. It'll be getting a little bit more and more. We might take some more autumn drives. Boo! Be careful, Dobu. We don't know what's in these woods. I bet you can't find me. Dobu, no. Quit fooling around. Oh, we gotta go in here and find Dobu. Autumn! Dobu! That was so scary. Thank you so much for saving me. Of course, Dobu. But don't ever do that again. Oopsies. Thanks for playing. What, Dobu, what did I say about breaking the fourth wall? Won't happen again. Autumn? Dobu? That was so scary. Thank you so much for saving me. Of course, Dobu. But don't ever do that again. Thanks for playing. Oh, that's it. We can't read the things. So we're done. Thank you for playing. Thank you for enjoying another episode of The Witching Hour. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.